So the White House is now in an utter panic as Donald Trump has gone missing for 6 days. Donald Trump has refused to give any public appearances in the past 6 days. So the White House trotted out Dr. Oz, and Dr. Oz basically said, look, the reason that Donald Trump keeps on taking cognitive exams and keeps on getting physicals, he just really likes the tests. He really likes the exams. Here, listen to what Dr. Oz had to say. Play this clip.
Yes, go ahead.
Hey, I just wanted to follow up on her question behind me. If the president's in such perfect health, why does he keep going back in for checkups?
I think he likes the results. He does really well. He aces the test every single day. And I do actually believe that he's curious to make sure everything is going in the right direction. He's a very meticulous person in so many ways that are often underappreciated. But for him to want to know all the numbers and keep on top of them, it's the same reason he calls people at odd hours, because something's on his mind and he wants to deal with it. Yes, in purple.
Then more from Dr. Oz right here, and he said, look, we all know that there's nobody more vibrant and energetic. We see it with Donald Trump every day. No, when he isn't hiding from the press, which he's now been doing for 6 days, right around the time of that purported physical, he's falling asleep before our very eyes. Watch what Dr. Oz says. Here, play this clip.
Across the world, especially when we're not sure what's going on with them, is probably not the wisest move. In red, take it away.
Thank you so much. Alina Shirazi from the Daily Mail. This is the 4th checkup that the president has had. He's supposed to have 1 a year. He's had several CT heart scans. What are the doctors looking for? And second question, I think you might like this one better. Who has been your favorite cabinet secretary so far to do the briefings at the podium?
That may not be my favorite question. I mean, they're all obviously different. I think Scott Besant's dry humor is fabulous. Marco is just an earnestly funny person. We can tell all kinds of stories about Marco's entertaining commentary. I think JD was spectacular. He's just very on his game, understands the issues, and he understands the American people, which is, I appreciated his presentation so much. And I did watch them all, by the way, just to prepare. I'm a doctor. I try to do my homework. I prepped for the case. The first issue was about Ebola. No, about President Trump's examinations.
He's had 4 already. The president's supposed to have 1 a year.
Yeah. So I actually have talked to the president about what he's sent to all of you. And I think it's just a routine, regular exam. You remember I had the president on my show 10 years ago. He also presented records. And at the time, I was stunned at how well he was doing, because so many of these numbers naturally over time will start going in the wrong direction. But if you look at these records, they're spectacular. His cholesterol, his blood pressure, all the numbers are starting in excellent parameters. His ability, and listen, I work with him frequently. Many of you get to see him almost every day. That amount of energy and that amount of mental acuity does not exist in a vacuum. You have to have a vessel to carry it. And the president has a unique ability to just keep going at all hours of the day with remarkable strength. Let's go.
Then a reporter from something called Lindell TV realizes how panicked the White House is, so they need to help with propaganda. So they're like, what's the name of the disease, Dr. Oz, for the people who have Trump derangement syndrome? Like, what are they going through? What's your message for the Trump derangement syndrome sickness when, look, Donald Trump is physically and cognitively rotting before our eyes. And if there's any Trump derangement syndrome, it's from the weirdos in his cult and people like Dr. Oz and this person from Lindell TV asking the questions. Here, play this clip.
Let me leave you with, we have one last question, but I do want to. Okay, go ahead, ask me. I'll come to you. I have a GOP question. What's your question? Very quick.
Do you have any medical advice for the Americans out there that are suffering from a very serious ailment called Trump derangement syndrome?
I am concerned about folks who have focused their entire life energy on dislike of the president. It's disheartening to see people lost in that way, but it's treating stupid is really hard, and it becomes a real problem. And these folks are off. Now, GLP-1s. Let me just answer for, because I'm out of time.
So then state regime media Fox was like, this press conference is a disaster. So they cut away from the press conference, and then the Fox host is like, all right, what's this guy doing with Iran? Like, what's his negotiating strategy? Is there a strategy? Even Fox is like, what the hell is even going on here? Here, play this clip.
So I was going to start this off by saying, Brett, that I'm a little puzzled as to what the actual strategy of negotiation is. But President Trump put this out seconds ago on Truth Social. It says fake news reports that the Islamic Republic of Iran and the USA stopped speaking a few days ago are false and erroneous. The conversations between us have been going on continuously, including 4 days ago, 3 days ago, 2 days ago, 1 day ago, and today. Where they lead, no one knows. But as I told Iran, it's time one way or another for you to make a deal. Does that give you hope that something's in the offing?
Not really. But again, it doesn't really matter too much as long as the president maintains the pressure, the leverage on the regime in Tehran, on the blockade.
So then, while that press conference is taking place, while Fox cuts away, Donald Trump says, "Let me show you strength and fortitude." Okay, so he posts, in a sign of strength and fortitude, it was just announced that the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which violently ended rather abruptly on April 25th, will be rescheduled to July 24th. This announcement is a very good thing, that we cannot allow lunatics to change our way of life. Oh, Donald, you're just so courageous for rescheduling something where an individual didn't even make it through the main outer perimeter. Wow, that's a real courageous of you, Donald, which you then use to talk about your ballroom. And what does he mean it ended violently? How did it end violently? There was nobody who was killed. There was nobody who was injured. But okay, Donald, strength and fortitude. Then Donald Trump posts the following. Again, while he's like totally disappeared, and while Dr. Oz is holding that press conference, he goes, fake news reports that the Islamic Republic of Iran and the USA stopped speaking a few days ago are false and erroneous. The conversation between us have been going on continuously, including 4 days ago, 3 days ago, 2 days ago, 1 day ago, and today. Where they lead, one never knows. But as I told Iran, it's time, one way or another, for you to make a deal. By the way, we heard from Marco Rubio this morning, who said the United States is not at war anymore. Okay, so just what the hell is even going on? We know about the casualty of the American soldier who got killed in Iraq, that the Trump regime says training exercise, a UK soldier killed in Iraq, training exercise, just the same area where Iran targeted with its ballistic missiles and drones after the US broke the ceasefire and attacked Iran. Anyway, then Donald Trump goes, this is what he posted earlier, I'm appointing the director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency and chairman of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, Bill Pulte, to serve as the acting director of national intelligence. He has deep experience managing the most sensitive matters in America. No, he doesn't. The director of the Federal Housing and Finance Agency, he's just used, first off, he's a trust fund kid. Then he's used that position just to go after Donald Trump's political enemies by saying that they've engaged in mortgage fraud. So that's what Donald Trump is doing right now. I'll show you more about Bill Pulte in a moment. But back to Dr. Oz during this disastrous presser right here. And Dr. Oz is asked the following by a reporter. Congressional statute says any appointee for the position of director of national intelligence must have extensive national security expertise. So Bill Pulte has none of that. So why would we make the guy with no expertise that position? Watch what Dr. Oz says here. Play this clip.
In pink.
Just back to the question about Bill Pulte. Congressional statute says any appointee for the position of the Director of National Intelligence shall have extensive national security expertise. What extensive national security expertise does he have?
Ma'am, you're asking me a question that's out of my lane. I'm so focused on making sure Americans are healthy that I have not been looking at what other agencies. Take that, yes. And the edge, go ahead. Yellow tie, go.
Then a reporter says, okay, but let's look at it this way. You're a heart surgeon. Would you recommend patients to go see someone for their heart who's not a subject matter area expertise? Why would we make the head of our national intelligence apparatus someone who doesn't know about intelligence? Here, play this clip.
Deal. There were 11 million people in the program. We perverted that. Yes, sir.
Doctor, thank you. Since you're here speaking on behalf of the administration, part of the reason we're asking about the president's decision to appoint Bill Pulte to be the head of national intelligence is it's been 4 hours and we've been asking the White House why he's qualified to do so. You're a heart surgeon or a heart doctor?
Yeah.
Would you recommend a patient go see someone who isn't?
You're asking the question with the premise that Bill Pulte is not qualified. I don't know anything about his situation, and I appreciate you want an answer. I'm not going to be the one giving it to you. Go ahead.
Thank you so much.
And just to show you who Bill Pulte is, I'll show you this event from about 3 years ago. This was about 3.5, 4 years ago. This is under the Biden administration. And you can see him at this event where he received a trophy declaring that he fucks only the young at an event he organized dedicated to something about Bed Bath and Beyond and meme stocks. And it was some dildo-focused event called the Pulte 10 PP Live 2023. And it focused on GameStop, and it targeted apes, the dedicated online community of retail investors who believe in conspiracy theories around these stocks. So that's the guy. I showed you that clip, right? Odd behavior right there. Play it.
Here's the first ever, man, live fucking dildo slap on the PP Live. Pulte, look at this fucking thing. All right. Come on. Harder, daddy. All right, fine. There you fucking have it. The first dildo slap in history live. So, Bill, this says Bill Pulte fucks. All right?
Thank you.
And then if you notice it's got a tramp stamp with a butterfly on the back.
It, only the young.
One ass cheek set. Yes, it does say only the young on the back here. Only the young, December 14th.
That looks pretty badass.
We have a mushroom stamp on the head of it, and Bed Bath on one cheek, and GME. Oh, fuck. GME on the other.
I got too excited there.
I'll show you more from this Dr. Oz presser. Dr. Oz then continues to talk about how a reporter, can you respond to any of the criticism from the Republicans on this pick of Bill Pulte? Here, play this clip.
I know this isn't your wheelhouse, but you are speaking on behalf of the White House today. Can you respond to any of the criticism from Republicans on President Trump's decision to tap Bill Pulte, who has no known intelligence experience, as acting DNI?
Well, I think Bill is a great guy. I know him socially. I've not worked with him in his current job, but I do trust the president's judgment. He is a very sharp, quick study of people, their emotional abilities, and their ability to persevere in the face of hardship. So I have confidence in his decision.
Really? You think he's a great guy? And then he's asked, what about any conflicts of interest that Donald Trump has holding a UFC event at the White House where Trump's invested in TKO, the parent company of UFC? Do you see a conflict of interest there? And Dr. Oz like, no, I don't see a conflict of interest at all.
I do actually believe that he is curious to make sure everything is going in the right direction. He's a very meticulous person in so many ways that are often underappreciated. But for him to want to know all the numbers and keep on top of them, it's the same reason he calls people at odd hours, because something's on his mind and he wants to deal with it. Yes, in purple.
I wanted to ask about the UFC fight here at the White House next week. The president recently invested in the parent company of UFC. Is it a conflict of interest for him to be promoting this event while he's invested in UFC's parent company?
I don't think the president sits in the Oval Office and makes individual investment decisions, but I don't know about that issue. But knowing him, I suspect someone else is making those decisions for him.
And then Dr. Oz leaves by saying, we're here to make a difference, and that's why we're kicking all these people off of Medicaid. Here's what Oz says. Let's play it.
Prosperity. I hope you share this belief, that we're put on this earth with agency to change our future, change the country's future, make the planet a better place. We're put here to make a difference. But if you're sitting at home, which is true for the millions of people who are able-bodied on Medicaid, on average, you're spending 6.1 hours watching television or just hanging around. That's not why you're here. So as a path to prosperity, Congress very wisely said, let's get you back into the workforce. Let's require you to get free healthcare coverage, to be able to work for 20 hours a week, or volunteer to make up the difference if you haven't worked 20 hours, or get an education. Just participate. And so
there you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thanks for watching, y'all.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.